Imagine a book so dangerous that governments, religions, and secret societies did everything they could to erase it from history. A book that carries forbidden secrets, information that challenges beliefs and threatens power structures. Sounds like fiction? Well, know that throughout the centuries, countless works have been censored, burned, and even banned because they contain something that should not be read. But what exactly makes a book so threatening? We're not just talking about controversial stories, but books that shake the foundations of reality. Some were banned for revealing occult knowledge about demonology and mysticism. Others, for exposing conspiracies that certain institutions would prefer to keep secret. And then there are those that simply predicted historical events with uncanny accuracy. The truth is, when a work bothers the powerful, its existence becomes a danger. But here's the question, if something has been censored, isn't it precisely because it contains valuable information? What if certain books reveal truths that would completely change the way we see the world? Get ready, because today we're going to explore the pages of some of the most dangerous books in history, and you'll understand why so many tried to erase them from existence. It has never been easier to access knowledge than it is today. With a simple click, anyone can dive into works that were once locked away, whether classic literature, treatises on occultism, or even banned books that were once targets of censorship. But does this democratization of reading mean people are actually consuming deeper content? The avalanche of information can be a double-edged sword, as while it opens doors to historical secrets and buried conspiracies, it also drowns us in a sea of superficial distractions. Historically, control over knowledge has always been a tool of power. In the past, only a restricted elite had access to certain works, such as Vatican secrets and manuscripts on demonology that challenged religious dogmas. Today, a curious reader can find even rare texts online, challenging centuries of censorship. But does all this knowledge being dumped onto screens truly generate transformation? Or are we merely collecting information without truly absorbing it? On the other hand, this phenomenon brings an interesting paradox. The freedom to read and easy access also revive old prohibitions. Many dangerous books are circulating again, reigniting debates about their impact on society. Some works, such as those addressing religious conspiracies or hidden human histories, still cause discomfort and, in some cases, even attempts at modern-day bans. What makes a book considered dangerous? And more importantly, who decides what we should or shouldn't read? Since ancient times, certain works have been considered too dangerous to be read. But what makes a book become a threat? On many occasions, it wasn't the work itself, but rather the knowledge it carried. Banned books have been burned in public squares, banned by governments, and even hidden by powerful institutions, like the Vatican. If a text has the power to change minds and question absolute truths, it quickly becomes a target of censorship. After all, knowledge is power, and those who control information control society. A classic example is the Index of Forbidden Books, created by the Catholic Church to prevent the spread of texts that contradicted its doctrine. Within it were scientific, philosophical, and occult treatises that questioned the medieval worldview. These books not only threatened beliefs but also encouraged critical thinking, something many regimes feared. History shows that the more a book is banned, the more curiosity it sparks. Censored works often become bestsellers because nothing attracts more attention than what others try to hide. Whether enigmatic manuscripts like the Voynich manuscript, invocation manuals like the Grand Grimoire, or even books that influence destructive ideologies, every page carries latent power. And this power can illuminate, or destroy. But how far can the freedom to read go before it becomes a threat? Few books have caused as much outrage and persecution as the Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie. Published in 1988, the novel was accused of blasphemy by Islam, leading to its ban in several countries and a fatwa issued against the author. But why was this work considered so threatening? Rushdie mixed fiction with social critique, exposing contradictions within religious structures. Although the book is often labeled offensive, it also serves as a reminder of the transformative power of writing. After all, when words can incite such extreme reactions, they prove their potential to change minds and challenge oppressive systems. Among the banned books that generate the most mystery, the Book of Soga stands out as an enigmatic work. Little is known about its origin, but reports suggest it contains invocation rituals and occult knowledge that defy conventional explanations. Some scholars believe that its supposed danger lies less in the content and more in the fear it instills in those seeking to control the unknown. This raises another question: to what extent is the danger of a book in the text or in the interpretation we make of it? If something is banned, does that automatically mean we should trust it, or should we dismiss its historical or symbolic value? Among the most controversial books in history, Mein Kampf stands out as a classic example of how words can shape entire societies. Written by Adolf Hitler while he was in prison, the book details his political vision, ideas about race, and plans for Germany, serving as the foundation for Nazi ideology. The impact of this work was devastating, as it helped consolidate a mentality that led to one of humanity's darkest periods. Even after World War II, circulation of the book was censored in various countries, fearing its message might continue to influence new followers. The big question surrounding this book isn't just its content, but the power it held over the masses. Throughout history, many totalitarian regimes have used books as tools of manipulation, turning ideologies into absolute truths. Mein Kampf is an example of the danger that resides in words when they find an audience willing to follow them blindly. But is banning a book really the best solution? Or does prohibition only increase its aura of mystery and conspiracy, making it even more attractive? Few books evoke as much fear as the Turner Diaries. Written by William Luther Pierce under the pseudonym Andrew MacDonald, this work of fiction has become one of the most dangerous books of our time. The story, which depicts a violent revolution in the United States, served as inspiration for extremist groups, who saw it as a script for reality. More than just a novel, the book is viewed as a manual for those wishing to spread chaos, becoming a reference point for terrorist attacks and acts of violence around the world. The danger of a book like this doesn't lie solely in its pages, but in the impact it has on minds prone to radicalization. Throughout history, many works have been banned for inciting rebellion, such as revolutionary pamphlets and conspiracy texts. But does censorship solve the problem? The mere fact that a book is banned already makes it more seductive to those who believe they're uncovering a hidden truth. Simply talking about it now may spark curiosity. Among the banned books that arouse the most curiosity, the Grand Grimoire holds a special place. Considered one of the most powerful grimoires of demonology ever written, it supposedly contains detailed instructions for invoking supernatural entities and making pacts with occult forces. It is believed to date back to the 16th century and was allegedly written by a mysterious mage who, according to some theories, discovered unspeakable secrets in hidden archives. The Vatican is even rumored to be one of the possible holders of an original copy, kept under strict censorship. The fame of the Grand Grimoire doesn't come only from its rarity, but also from accounts of those who've tried to use it. There are stories of occultists who went mad after practicing its rituals, and of sects that used it as a manual for macabre ceremonies. But does this book really contain effective formulas, or is it all just an esoteric spectacle? Either way, it remains one of the most feared texts in occultism, cited in numerous investigations into secret cults and religious conspiracies. Some believe the prohibition of its content hides something greater, something that could rewrite everything we know about invisible forces around us. Few banned books possess as powerful a myth as the Necronomicon. Created by H.P. Lovecraft as part of his literary universe, this fictional work became one of the most famous grimoires in the real world. Despite its literary origins, the book has gained near-mythical status among occultists and conspiracy theorists, who believe it may contain hidden historical secrets about the universe and entities beyond human comprehension. Legends say that reading it can drive one mad and that certain passages describe forbidden rituals defying the laws of reality. The influence of the Necronomicon extends far beyond horror literature, appearing in movies, games, and even occult investigations. Some claim Lovecraft merely romanticized fragments of real texts that had been censored by religious orders. Others believe he channeled something that truly exists, perhaps unknowingly. What's undeniable is the fascination this work inspires, being associated with themes like demonology and supernatural invocations. Its impact is so strong that many have attempted to create authentic versions of the book, further amplifying its aura of mystery. If there's one thing that sparks human curiosity, it's mystery. And when discussing banned books and historical secrets, we can't ignore the enigmatic manuscripts that have puzzled experts for centuries. The Voynich manuscript, for instance, is one of the greatest mysteries in bibliographic history. Written in an indecipherable language and illustrated with strange images of unknown plants and cryptic symbols, it has been analyzed by cryptographers, historians, and linguists, yet no one has been able to fully translate it. Who wrote it? What was its true purpose? The answers remain a mystery. And what about the Codex Gigas, also known as the Devil's Bible? This gigantic medieval manuscript contains a disturbing illustration of Lucifer himself and is surrounded by legends about its origin. According to one legend, a condemned monk made a demonic pact to finish the book in a single night. Is it just folklore, or is there something deeper behind these stories? Many believe the Codex Gigas contains hidden knowledge that has been censored over the centuries, especially by religious authorities. After all, whenever a book threatens to rewrite our view of the world, its existence becomes a problem. What if some banned books didn't just hold historical secrets but also foretold the future? Throughout the centuries, various works seem to predict events with unsettling precision. The prophecies of Nostradamus, for example, were written in the 16th century and are still studied today by those seeking signs of global conspiracies. His predictions have been linked to wars, pandemics, and the rise of controversial leaders. But did he really foresee the future, or merely describe patterns that repeat throughout history? Another striking case is Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan, a novel published in 1898 by Morgan Robertson. The book narrates the story of a ship called the Titan, deemed unsinkable, which collides with an iceberg and sinks in the North Atlantic. Sound familiar? This work was released 14 years before the real-life disaster of the Titanic, with uncanny similarities between fiction and reality. Coincidence or a strange ability to anticipate events? Some say certain minds capture invisible patterns and translate them into words without realizing the extent of what they're predicting. Now that you know about some of the most dangerous and banned books in history, the question arises, what else might be hidden from us? How much information has been erased, how many truths distorted, and how many secrets from the Vatican or other institutions have never reached the public? Knowledge has always been a threat to those who wish to control the narrative, and censorship is proof of that. But now that you have this information, what will you do with it? Will you simply let it go, or will you start questioning the history you've been told? True power lies in the hands of those who seek knowledge on their own, without blindly accepting what is imposed. Could some of these books still reveal truths that will change the way you see the world? Would you dare to read them? If you want to keep exploring mysteries, conspiracies, and hidden secrets, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Here, we'll always bring you content that challenges the ordinary and reveals what few have the courage to discuss. After all, forbidden knowledge may just be the most valuable of all.